Bible study is sponsored by Wake Up America Seminars. Go check out their website or give them a call. They have really informative materials to study on God's character and his plans for the end times as found in Daniel and Revelation.
When the Messiah was here on earth, he told his disciples, no one knows the day or hour, not even the angels or the Son of Man, only the Father. When the Messiah said this, it was true. No one knew the day or hour. It was true 2,000 years ago. Well, if you go to Daniel 7, 13 through 15, and Revelation 5, what you will see is that the Messiah, when he returned to heaven, after he said these words, he was given all power. He was given the kingdom. In 1798, he was given the kingdom. And he's been breaking the seals off the scroll that was handed to him. That's truth.
Share the same message, last 20 years. Been saying the same thing with many fears. Day one on the flow, tears in my eyes. A lot of people don't know, would be surprised. I gave my whole life to live Christ. Some just living life to throw rice. Yeah, life bloody, no it's not nice. People call you buddy with a sharp knife. I met many snakes and few sheep. I can't even hate if they hate me. There's a due date for the hate speech. I see a new face when the fake leave. I was sent from heaven with the last message. Before the 144, then I'll be lesser. Golden sister coming before the second coming. 7 seals getting broke before the 7 trumpets.
Soon and very soon, a lot of people are going to be killed by the destruction that's coming on earth. The person that you're looking at right now, the person that you're next to, that person could be gone in a second.
This could be the last time before your heart fail. To hear a message like this before the sea swell. Men about to faint, women will cry. To know 1 out of 4 will die. You can't know this with AI. You need the Holy Spirit and a real God. God tried to use flesh in human form. Human race is a mess unless they reborn.
I want to start off with a question. Is the book of Daniel intended for the time of the end? If you go to Daniel 12:4, it'll answer the question for us. But you, Daniel, close up and seal the words until the time of the end.
They holding rocks in their hand cause their heart wicked. They don't even have a plan, they don't know it's business. You don't listen, stuck in religion. Can't put me to death, you need another witness. I'm protected by a promise, I ain't the scroll. You still looking for a woman, go ahead, scroll. I'm looking for the seal of God on some foreheads. You still looking for a job cause you want bread. It's hard to have faith when you're not led by the Holy Spirit cause you're hard-headed. We at the very end, spinning one bullet, Russian roulette, go ahead, pull it. It's hard to have faith when you're not led by the Holy Spirit cause you're hard-headed. We at the very end, spinning one bullet, Russian roulette, go ahead, pull it.
Welcome back, Facebook, YouTube, and of course Zoom. We are back again with another Bible study. I know it's been a week, and I'm filling in again. It's not TGIF today, but today we're going to be diving into the Word again, like we did last week, and kind of continuing off where we left. Because last week, where we started, we were showing just how important it is to understand God's character and how important it is to know how He operates, so that we can line up with it and not be deceived by those who try to portray themselves to be, who say that they are followers and are not. So this week we're going to be adding more into it. But before we get started, of course, as we always do, Zoom, do you want to say what's up to the world? Say what's up to Facebook and YouTube who will be watching in.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
What's up?
Folks said, what's up, brother? So yes, like we said, we'll be adding on, of course, more to what we was talking about last week because it's so important. I love how it was put last week, how important it is to understand God's character, because we need to know how He operates so we're not deceived and not caught off guard when he begins to move. And not only that, we also see how he operates, and as followers be able to line up with that. So I want to put this perspective in, because I feel it's going, not even I feel it's going, it will be able to, I'm hoping that it'll be able to add on to the perspective as we continue to dive into God's character, heart, and timing as we always study. So with that, I'll start off with a question, because if you haven't seen, of course I know Facebook and YouTube probably seen it, but maybe Zoom hasn't seen it. The topic of today will be the difference between the works that the world has for us versus the works that the Lord wants to give to us. So with that, I want to start off with a question. And does anyone know what a yoke is and can explain it? You see the word yoke in the Bible many times. Somebody can explain it, or if you want to Google it, go right ahead. Connection. Okay. I like that. Yeah, it is about connection. Go ahead, say that again. He is with us. Go ahead, Mama Sue. It's a tie. Mama Sue, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Go right ahead, Mama Sue.
Okay, the yoke is two oxen has this wooden thing that goes over like a wooden collar, and as they're plowing the fields, to be evenly yoked, they're walking in unison. They're walking evenly. But if one tries to pull to the one side, the other one has to go with it, and they're veering off to the side. They're not staying down the road to plow the field. So evenly yoked is balanced, even, walking, staying together, and the yoke is the wooden frame that goes over their necks.
Yes, ma'am. That's a beautiful summary of it. It is everything that everyone said is connections, ties, and I love how Mama Sue just put it. And I'm just going to reiterate just a summary of what she said. Like a yoke is, and this of course is the Google definition, but it's just summarized everything she just said. A yoke is a wooden beam or a collar used to connect two draft animals, usually oxen, together, resting on their necks or shoulders to pull heavy loads like plows or wagons. They are designed to distribute weight evenly, allowing animals to work together as a team. So I want to keep this perspective. Let's keep that in mind as we go through the study, because it's so important for us to have this perspective. Like we always do, we take pieces and we build in piece by piece. The puzzle will come together towards the end. It's like we baking a cake. We getting all the ingredients out. So just remember as we going through, because it's so important for us to have this. So the reason that I said that is because it's so important for us to understand that what, like Mama Sue was saying, what being equally yoked is, because the beautiful thing about the Lord is that from the beginning, as we've been talking about character, how consistent God is, has been trying to do work with us. Two cannot walk unevenly yoked. I love that. The Lord has been trying to work with us. And I want to show you from the word and not just give you a perspective. So let's start and let's just get into the word. We're going to read Genesis 2 and we're going to read 8 through 15. So I want to show just how consistent God has been and why it's so important and how he wants to do work with us. So throughout the Bible study, we'll be going is we'll see the work that the Lord has for us versus how the world puts work on us. And we'll see the difference in between. So like I said, this will be a beautiful perspective to have as we're diving into God's character and understanding and understanding his ways and understanding him. So Genesis 2, and we read verses 8 through 15. Someone would like to read?
I can read for you.
Thank you, Mama Sue.
Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there it was separated into 4 headwaters. The name of the first is the Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good. Aromatic, resin, and onyx are also there. The name of the second river is the Gishon. It winds through the entire land of Cush. The name of the third river is Tigris. It runs along the east side of Asher, and the fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. Stop at 15.
Yes, ma'am. That's good right there. So we get to see, like, here it is. It's where we get to see how God wanted to do the work with man. The Lord planted the garden, put everything where it needed to be, and made, in verse 9, like it says, God made all kinds of trees that grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eyes and good for food. And then he puts man in there to take care of the garden. And if you aren't familiar with this, if you go up just a little bit, if you go up to 4 through 7, it even explains how no shrub had yet appeared on the earth, no plants had sprung up. The Lord God had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no one to work the ground. So here it is, you have this beautiful garden that he's taken care of, but he has planted, and he puts man in there to take care of it. But no water has come down yet, so he still is watering it, and he's producing the crops that come from it. But man is taking care of it, working together in tandem. As man is doing the work, the Lord is producing the crop, and that's consistent with God's character, with his heart, with his ways, of how he has always wanted and wants to work with us. And like I said, this is just a foundational piece of just how I want to show just how consistent he is, because in the beginning, this is how it was. In the beginning, here it is that he put man in the garden, but he's taking care, they working together. Man is tilling it, doing all the things that need to be done, pruning, getting rid of whatever needs to get rid of. You know what I mean? Taking care of it, taking the harvest, all of whatever needs to be done for whatever work that he's doing. But who's bringing in the water? Who's working together? It's a beautiful harmony that he has set up. So I want to show this, because though it seems laborious, where it's just Adam by himself, it seems as if Adam's by himself, but here it is, the Lord is right there working with him. So remember what we was just talking about when we was talking about the yoke, how important it is. Like that perspective to have and understanding about the yoke, where he's yoked to the Lord, where he's doing the work and the Lord is producing the crop, working as a team. The Lord give him the resources and the knowledge and the mission to do what he needs to do, and he's giving him everything he needs in order to complete the mission that he has before him. This is God's character. And like I said, I want to continue to go through the word, and where we'll really start is, because where we're going to go next, we're going to go over into Exodus and see how the world does. And how, like I said, we're going to be bouncing back and forth and seeing just how the work that the Lord has for us, versus the work that the world wants to put on us, and see the stark difference in between the two. So let's go over to Exodus 1, and we're going to read 6 through 22. And of course, if you aren't familiar, this is this is the Israelites getting pretty much moving into Egypt. Of course, if you don't know Exodus is about, it'll give it away. You'll read it in a second. So,
that's 6 through 22?
Yep.
That's 6.
No, 6 through 22. So I'll probably
Yeah, just, I know.
yeah.
Stop.
I got you, brother.
Verse 6. Now Joseph and all his brothers and all the generations and all that generation died. But the Israelites were fruitful and multiplied greatly and became exceedingly numerous, so that the land was filled with them. Then a new king, who did not know about Joseph, came to power in Egypt. Look, he said to his people, the Israelites have become more numerous than for us. Come, we must deal shrewdly with them, or they will become even more numerous, and if war breaks out, will join our enemies and fight against us and leave the country. So they put slave masters over them to oppress them with forced labor. And they built Pithom, if I'm not mistaken, and Ramses as storage cities for Pharaoh. But the more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied and spread. So the Egyptians came to dread the Israelites and worked them ruthlessly.
You can stop right there for a second. We stop at 13 just for 1 second. So I want to put this perspective because this is gonna make sense, and I just want to give a perspective of what this situation looks like. Here it is, Pharaoh. See, a Pharaoh that came that didn't know the promise that the previous Pharaoh had with Joseph, and how he was pretty much the right hand man of Pharaoh. He was, because Joseph was moving with godly wisdom. When the famine came and he interpreted a dream for Pharaoh that the Lord had gave him. Another Pharaoh that came and he doesn't know nothing about none of that. And here it is, he's seen how numerous they had become, and he was just like, we're gonna put harsh labor on them. It says the people. He said to his people, the Israelites have become far too numerous for us. Come and we shall deal shrewdly with them, and they will become even more numerous, or they will become more numerous. And if war breaks out, they will join our enemies and fight against us. So they put slave masters. I want to put this perspective of how harsh this is. Slave masters over them to oppress them with food and with forced labor. And made them build cities, store cities for the Pharaoh. And they were even more, but the more they oppressed, the more they multiplied and spread. So how great they had become is from how oppressed they had become. The more that they oppressed them, the more that they began to multiply. I need this perspective because you'll understand it just a little bit. Continue, if you don't mind, keep going, brother. I just want to put that perspective and just see how Stead know where we going. So he go ahead, bro.
Verse 14. They made their lives bitter with hard labor and brick and mortar with all kinds of work in the fields. In all their hard labor, the Egyptians used them ruthlessly. The king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, whose names were Shipra and Puah, when you help the Hebrew women in childbirth and observe them on the delivery stool, if it is a boy, unalive him. But if it's a girl, let her live. The midwives, however, feared God and did not do what the king of Egypt had told them to do. They let the boys live. Then the king of Egypt summoned the midwives and asked them, why have you done this? Why have you let the boys live? The midwives answered Pharaoh, Hebrew women are not like Egyptian women. They are vigorous and give birth before the midwives arrive. Sorry, guys.
You're fine.
So God was kind to the midwives, and the people increased and became even more numerous. And because the midwives feared God, he gave them families of their own. said 22, correct?
Yeah, just to finish off.
Okay. Then Pharaoh gave this order to all his people. Every boy that is born, you must throw into the Nile, but let every girl live.
So I wanted to point this out and show this to show just how harsh and cruel the work was for the Israelites, and how, and even show just like how that even could look at for us, like us in this country, in this place, of how here it is that we are saying that it's a country built on godly values, so they say, and yet operate just like Egypt. Yet the cost of living is so high that most people sell themselves in the slave-like jobs. 12 hours a day, some 12-hour days, 5, sometimes 7 days a week just to live. And by the time you get rest, there is really none. It's an oppressive lifestyle. This is the work that the world has for us. Oppressive lifestyle. Even the mindsets that we developed and have been given and groomed to have. Like, yo, we in our community, we have the ongoing joke from the songs. Like, I don't get tired. Like, we talk about the multiple jobs and the things that we do, but yet the difference, we can see the stark difference just in the beginning of, here it is, Adam, how he was working in the garden, and how even the Lord blessed him with a helper to do the work that he had to do. It's not harsh how the Lord had a 6 days, you work, 1 day you're off, we got the Sabbath. With the work that he had for you to do, you're working with him. It's not cruel, it's not harsh, it's not, the yoke is light and easy. Remember, that's how Jesus put it. So you get to see this stark difference in how the world gives us this work, and how, and I'm using an example of how Egypt put this work and this harsh labor on the Israelites. And we get to see how we're going to see how God reacts to this oppression. So, and I know a lot of people are familiar with it, but this is one thing that we love to do as we're doing Bible study, is to slow down and go verse by verse and really put things into perspective, because when we read it and just see the accumulation of the story, we miss some key components. We miss some key gems that was left over. So I just wanted to point this out. We see the difference in the works, that this was harsh, this was cruel, this was hard work, this was unfair, and God is going to respond to it. So let's go over to, we're going to go over to Exodus 3. And this is when Moses is talking, of course, talking to the burning bush. And we're just going to read 4 through 11. And I'll read it, and it says, when the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, this is God talking about Moses looking at the bush. God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, here I am. Do not come any closer, God said. Take off your sandals, for the place where you stand, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. At this, Moses hid his face, because he was afraid to look at God. The Lord said, I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians, to bring them out of that land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the home of the Canaanites, the Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, Jebusites. And now the cry of the Israelites has reached me, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? What we see, the Lord saw how oppressed, he heard the cries, he heard, and he said, I'm sending you. But he's going to do all the work. He's going to take care of it. He just needs you to do the work like he did with Adam. You do the work, he's going to produce the crop. You do the work, he's going to produce the crop. I just need you to go, say what I'm going to tell you to say, and I'm going to move. This is the importance, like, of understanding understanding God's character and seeing how he moves, so we can line up to it. He just wants us to do the work, and he'll produce the crop. A lot of times we have this desire to want to force the outcome of things, but here it is. We get to see where the Lord just desires us to be obedient to whatever mission that he has given us, whatever task that he has. Just do it, and whatever the outcome is, it's the outcome that he produces, not from what you do, because he doesn't force anyone. It's not out of a manipulation, because when he goes, and I know a lot of people have a misunderstanding of when it says that the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. It's not that he hardened Pharaoh's heart through manipulation. It's just like when you know that somebody is just, when you already know how somebody's going to answer you, but that's what it was. He knew that sending Moses to just say to free his people would harden his heart. He knew how you would answer. So it's not through manipulation tactics. It's just through him already knowing. So I just wanted to give that perspective before we move on, because this is, like we said, we get to see we're going from how the works that the world wants us to have, and then the works that the Lord wants to give us. And we see the task that he gave to Moses was a harsh one, but he's not doing it alone. And not only, like I said, not only is he going to do this task, if you know how Moses goes and do the work, not only does he send him and he is with him, but he also sends him with his brother as well to speak for him after Moses says, pardon me, my Lord, so many times. So I just wanted to bring this perspective and see the works that the Egyptians had put on them. It was harsh, it was cruel, and it got to a point where they began to cry out, and they cried unto the Lord. And the Lord came and set them free. He set them free. You could read that through Exodus. That's what it's about. He set them free. And he wanted to remove them from the 430 years of tradition and understanding and things from then, and he wanted to give them his perspective. So he gave them his ways, his laws, while they were in the wilderness. And we get to see that. So let's go over to Numbers 4 so we can see when the works that the Lord gives, that the works that the Lord want to give his people and how they respond to that. So let's go to Exodus 4. I mean, not Exodus 4, Numbers 4, I'm sorry. Numbers 4. And can I have, give me 1 second. Can I have 3 readers? Can I get three readers for me, please?
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can I have someone read 1 through... give me 1 second. See how I can divide this up evenly for everybody. I can. Whoa. Okay, can I have somebody read Let's go 1 through 20.
Yes, sir. You want to start now, or
It's golly. It's not 1 through 20. Give me 1 second. Let's go. Let's go 4 through 12. Let's start with there. And yeah, brother, can first read go through and read 4 through 12. This is so. Let me give some background of why we're starting here, because it's like I said, this is when they were in the wilderness. The Lord gave them His ways. Throughout Deuteronomy, you can see it throughout Leviticus. You have the Levites getting the law. Deuteronomy, they are receiving the law, and God is giving them His character, His heart through these rules. Where if they do the work, He would produce the crop, and the crop that will be produced at the end of them holding on to His laws and His ways is becoming a light or becoming an example of His kingdom, of how He operates, His character. This is so important. So when I'm saying, and while we're reading through Numbers and 4, because there is some physical work that He also gave for them to do as they are moving the tabernacle. Tabernacle is the place where His presence would come and meet them anytime that they would inquire of Him or sacrifice into Him. His presence would sit over the Ark of the Covenant that He had. It's very important and very delicate, which is why He here in Numbers 4, He is dividing the work of this place that has many pieces. I know we have read this in the Bible where we got to that part in the Bible where it just talks about all of the furnishing for the tabernacle, and we kind of just scroll through it because it's like the IKEA section of the Bible where it's all the intricate what is built here and what is. So here is the work, because they were moving through the wilderness at that time. The work is that the tabernacle has to move as well. So they would have to break it down and travel. And this is the work that He's given them. But He has divided it evenly throughout each one. And we're going to read that through 4. This is the work that the Lord wanted to give the people. So, my brother, if you don't mind, I needed to give that preface 4 through 12.
Yes, sir. Verse 4. This is the work of the Kohathites in the tent of meetings, the care of the most holy things. When the camp is to move, Aaron and his sons are to go in and take down the shielding curtain and cover the Ark of the Covenant, Mount testimony, with it. Then they are to cover with the hides of the sea cows, spread a cloth of solid blue over that, and put the poles in place. Over the table of the presence, they are to spread a blue cloth and put on it the plates, dishes, and bowls, and the jars of the drink offerings. The bread that is continually there is to remain on it. Over these, they are to spread a scarlet cloth, cover that with the hides of the sea cow, and put its poles in place. They are to take a blue cloth and cover the lampstand that is for the light, together with its lamps, its wick trimmers and tray, and all its jars for the oil used to supply it. Then they are to wrap it and all its accessories accessories in a covering of the hides of sea cow, and put it on a carrying frame. Over the gold altar, they are to spread a blue cloth and cover that with the hides of the sea cows, and put its poles in place. They are to take all the articles used for ministering in the sanctuary, wrap them in a blue cloth, cover that with the hides of the sea cow, and put them on the carrying frame.
So we get to see the Kohathites, these 3 branches that we're about to read of are 3 branches of the Levites. The Levites were the priests who did the work for the tabernacle of the Lord. They didn't receive the inheritance of the land because they were the Lord's inheritance. They did the ministering to the tabernacle, all the works that goes into where the sacrifices is being brought and where the Lord's presence will come in and rest. So why this is the importance of what they are doing. and why they are wrapping things in blue cloth. It takes care and care and consideration as they're moving it, and it seems laborious work, but we're going to see something in the end. But where we just read was the Kohathites, what they had to do. So now we're going to jump down to let's go 24 through 28 for the next reader, because we get to see the Gershonites.
Okay. This is the service of the Gershonite clans in their carrying and their other work. They are to carry the curtains of the tabernacle, that is the tent of meeting, its covering and its outer covering of durable leather, the curtains for the entrance to the tent of meetings, the curtains for the courtyard surrounding the tabernacle and altar, the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard, the ropes, and all the equipment used in the service of the tent. The Gershonites are to do all that needs to be done with these things. All their service, whether carrying or doing other work, is to be done under the direction of Aaron and his sons. You shall assign to them as their responsibility all they are to carry. This is the service of the Gershonite clans at the tent of meeting. Their duties are to be under the direction of Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest.
So we get to see the Gershonites, while the Kohathites, their work was to wrap the things up and get everything prepped. The Gershonites here, their priority was to carry these certain things. So now we're going to read the Merarites. And can I get the third reader to read 29 through 33?
I can read, brothers. Please.
Thank you.
Can you just tell me the chapter and verse?
Yep.
Sorry.
No problem. We're in Numbers 4 and verses 29 through 33.
Okay. Do you have a specific version you prefer?
No, not really.
Okay. Numbers 4:29 to 33, right?
Yep.
Okay. It says, count the Merarites by their clans and families. Count all the men from 30 to 50 years of age who come to serve in the work at the tent of meeting. As part of all their service at the tent, they are to carry the frames of the tabernacle, its crossbars, posts, and bases, as well as the posts of the surrounding courtyard with their bases, tent pegs, ropes, all their equipment, and everything related to their use. Assign to each man the specific things he is to carry. This is the service of the Merarite clans as they work at the tent of meeting under the direction of Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest.
So we get to see how, like I said, we read through this just so we can get an understanding that the Lord broke down this work through 3 different families. Like the work that he gave them, like I said, it's hard work, but it would be hard if he was doing it alone. Go ahead, Brother Stead.
Now, just real quick, just to add in, we're talking about the numbers, so it's not like a small group that we may think about. Because going in back in chapter 3, we see that when they're counting all the Levites and breaking them into 3, just counting the men 1 month and up. For the Gershonites, it was 7,500. For the Kohathites, it was 8,600. For the Merarites, it was 6,200. So of course that was from 1 month up. So we put that into consideration. It was thousands of men that was doing this job. So it wasn't like 50 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it was still, like you're saying, it wasn't hard labor.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not only that, and the Lord has sent you others to do, like how He had them in the community. They were supposed to be working together as one another, brothers and sisters, and like you said, so I'm even about to read what, because if you read through each one of those, like how we just read in the Merari, the people who are doing this work are the ages from 30 to 50. So a very specific number. So I'm about to read let's read verses 46 through 49 so we can even put it in perspective. So Moses, Aaron, and the leaders of Israel counted all the Levites by their clan and families, all the men from 30 to 50 years of age who came to do the work of the service, who came to do the work of serving and carrying the tent of meeting, numbered 8,580. At the Lord's command through Moses, each was assigned his work and told what to carry. Thus they were counted as the Lord commanded Moses. So the work is being broke down. It's 8,000 people, almost 9,000 people working to move the tabernacle. Not laborious, not hard. Because remember, the Lord heard their cry when they were in Egypt. So He wanted to give them a new mindset, a new way to be able. He wanted them to trust in Him. Remember how He fed them when they were in the wilderness. He fed them. When they wanted water to drink, He gave them water to drink. Everything that they needed to get the work done, He supplied it. But we know that their hearts, it never moved them. They never were able to fully trust in the Lord. And they rebelled. So let's go over to number 16, because I want to show you something in number 16 that caught my attention as we went through this. In number 16, and I could just start at verse 1. Korah, son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and certain Reubenites, Dathan and Abiram, son of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, became insolent and rose up against Moses. With them were 250 Israelite men, well-known community leaders who had been appointed members of council. So we have one who is the leader of this is a Levite who has to do one task out of the 8,580 men who is starting a rebellion. And he brought along 2 other people. And they rose up against them, and then they brought up 250 other. They brought along 250 Israelite men, well-known community leaders who had been appointed members of the council. So if we see, remember, how the Lord was even giving them the works, it was through fear. Remember, He remembered their harsh labor that they had in Egypt, and He heard their cries, and He wouldn't put that cruel, harsh labor back on there. Not only did He give them the works, but He gave them everything that they need to get the work done. And the only currency that they needed was to have faith and to trust in Him and to hold on to His ways. And it's just, as they do the work, He will produce the crop. But like it just says, they became insolent. So verse 3. They came as a group to oppose Moses and Aaron and said to them, "You have gone too far. The whole community is holy, every one of them." Excuse me. And the Lord is with them. Why then do you set yourselves up above the Lord's assembly? When Moses heard this, he fell face down. Then he said to Korah and all his followers, "In the morning the Lord will show who belongs to Him and who is holy, and He will have that person come near Him. The man He chooses He will cause to come near Him. You, Korah and all your followers are to do this. Take censers, and tomorrow put burning coals and incense inside them before the Lord. The man the Lord chooses will be the one who is holy. You Levites have gone too far. Moses also said to Korah, now listen, you Levites, isn't it enough for you that the God of Israel has separated you from the rest of the Israelite community and brought you near himself to do the work at the Lord's tabernacle and to stand before the community and minister to them? He has brought you and all your fellow Levites near himself, but now you are trying to get the priesthood too. It is against the Lord that you and all your followers have banded together. Who is Aaron that you should grumble against him? Then Moses summoned Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, but they said, we will not come. Isn't it enough that you have brought us up out of the land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness? And now you also want to lord it over us. Moreover, you haven't brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey or given us an inheritance of fields and vineyards. Do you want to treat these men like slaves? No, we will not come. Anybody catch what they said that they found to be interesting? Anybody want to take a guess before I say it? Of what they said that was really, really interesting?
The part about the slaves.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
So on 13, they said, isn't it enough that you have brought us up out of the land, like they talking about Egypt, flowing with milk and honey? So their mindset was that Egypt was the land. And what they also did, they said, at 14, moreover, you haven't brought us into the land flowing with milk and honey, like the Lord told Moses to tell them that where he was leading them into.
But the Lord heard their cry when they was in Egypt. Remember, Egypt was harsh and cruel labor.
Mm-hmm.
They oppressed them so much, and the more that they oppressed them, they multiplied. And by the time it got to the fourth generation, the cry had become so great, the Lord heard it. But yet here it is, they never truly trusted the Lord when he was trying to give them light work, when he was trying to be fair with the work that he's given them. And we can even see that with a lot of us now, where the Lord desires to pull us out of Egypt and have us trust in him and do his will and do his work. But like we said before, we are drained and giving our all into Egypt, and we don't get a chance to fully see and fully trust in the Lord as we should.
They didn't know what hard labor was anymore.
They got the easy life and forgot how harsh it was back to the point where they desired to go back. But this is the work that the Lord wanted to give them, was separating this, what Pharaoh would have told them to. Remember, Pharaoh said, don't give them no more straw and expect it to make the same amount of brick. He said he expected them to make the same amount, but don't give them none of the straw that they used to get, that they need. But the Lord said the tabernacle needs to move. All right, all the men who are willing, all the men who come to do the work from 30 to 50, and then take that and break that down to each group and assign each person what they need to carry in fairness and light and tandem, working together as a team, where the Lord is doing the work, what you are doing the work, and the Lord is producing the crop. This is how important it is. And it even as we even let's just I just want to read it. It's in Matthew of what Jesus said. Because though these are physical things, it matters spiritually as well, of what it means to be yoked to the Lord, and what it means of what we are yoked to. Like Mama Sue said about being unequally yoked, how important it is to be yoked up with the Lord versus anything else. Give me 1 second. Matthew 11. And just read 25 through 30. And it says, at that time, Jesus said, I praise you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because you have hidden these things from the wise and the learned and revealed them to little children. Yes, Father, for this is what you were pleased to do. All things have been committed to me by my Father. No one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and those whom the Son chooses to reveal him. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And there we got to see through the word how consistent God is with what he just said. How the work, not only physically, but also spiritually, the things that he desires. Like, if you just do the work, and as you're doing the work, and as you're learning from him and holding on to his character and taking on his ways and being that light, produces the crop. The fruit of his spirit that attracts others and brings others in. He does the work, and even the work that he gives, when Paul talks about when one plants, another one waters. When he is doing the work, and the work that he desires to do from us is light. Is in the rest that he gives, because it comes with rest, and that rest is for your soul to be recharged to continue to go. But as we can see how the world does the work, and we get to see it just from how the word, and we also have an experience, especially in this nation, of what that work looks like and how that mindset, how fast paced they want you with no rest. No days off if you can. They barely want to give you the PTO that you've earned. But the work that the Lord has for you is light. It comes with rest. And I just wanted to bring this perspective, and I wanted to show this perspective as we are continually, as we continue to dive into God's character and his heart, so that we can see how he operates and line up, and also get a chance to see how he operates and what he does, and to be able to trust him more. So with that, I'm going to shut down Facebook and YouTube. Thank you. We will be back Friday with TGIF. But we're gonna sit over here and chop it up a little bit over on Zoom. Thank you again. I hope you get to rewatch this and dive into it for yourself. If you have any questions, like I always say, you can message me, send me anything, and I will respond. Until next time, like my brother always say, be strong. All right, Facebook and YouTube.